This husband of yours is so formal. Get him a beer. No, tequila.
Next Tuesday.
You didn't tell me that Sharon was pregnant.
When everyone's out for themselves.
It's quite the tangled web, isn't it?
Can you really know?
I told you this was on my terms.
You think you got this job because you're super smart?
Where loyalties lie.
I don't want to lose everything that we've built.
I love you.
Surprise.
Tyler Perry.
All right, Oval fans, you just saw the preview for next week's episode. Season 2, Episode 6, airing March 23rd, entitled Malicious Intent. Synopsis. Jason catches Priscilla in his room snooping around. Victoria tells Sam that she wants him in a new role. Nancy shares a discovery with Barry that sends him into a tailspin over Sharon. My gosh. All right, so before getting started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up to show you like it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content to the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. As always, I thank you for helping me out. We have jumped from a little over 20% to now over 30% of my viewership coming from subscribers. So if you are a frequent viewer, but you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you have subscribed, make sure you just watch the content. I'm trying to get to at least 40% of my viewership coming from my subscribers by the end of the month. So the preview, the synopsis pretty much tells it all, aside from like a couple things like with Ellie and Max and Bobby. But here we go. Victoria, and remember, I'm not just talking about the trailer you saw, I'm also talking about the end credit trailer from last night's episode. So Victoria is just flirting with Sam in front of Priscilla, and I'm just thinking the whole time, Lord, she telling Priscilla to give him a beer, what'd you say, a beer, martini, margarita, I don't know. She was just going on through a list of drinks and thinking to myself, Sam knows not to drink a damn thing Priscilla pours, because she probably will poison whatever Victoria wants as well as whatever he drinks as well. So I'm sitting there the whole time like, Lord, Priscilla, just no. I mean, no, Victoria, like, no. This is not going to go well for anyone. And remember, this is probably Victoria doing follow-up with Sam about becoming like the new head of her security detail, which basically means he's going to be around Victoria a lot more than himself and Priscilla would like. Jason does catch Priscilla in the room snooping around. Priscilla's like, well, we are a bit short-staffed. I know Jean usually cleans this room, but have you seen her anywhere? No, I don't know where she is. So I wonder if this makes Priscilla suspicious, or if it just means that she feels like this is a dead end, so she just forgets about it. My guess is that, Priscilla and Jason have their moment, and, Victoria is, of course, still in the residency, so she probably calls Sam up so they can talk about his new position. Or she calls Sam up to the residency later that day and then calls for Priscilla to come by to give them a drink, knowing that feeling up on him in front of her makes her uncomfortable. Now, we have a brief scene at the cabin where Max and Bobby are just kind of sitting at the table talking. I don't know if I think they're just, you doing good? Yeah, I am. What about you? Yeah, I'm good. Then they both get up pointing guns at each other. I'm like, where the hell is this going? Like, is it just a lack of trust here? Is Max just trying to get a way out? Or I don't really know. I got to see the setup for this scene so I can really be like, okay, I see why they went there, as opposed to thinking, okay, this seems oddly dramatic for no reason. So after that, we also have Nancy telling Barry that Sharon's pregnant. So apparently Nancy came across the pregnancy test that Sharon used, meaning that Sharon did lie to Kareem about not being pregnant. And I already did a video about it, so I already called it. The look on Barry's face is priceless. So remember, Sharon is pregnant, but we don't know by who. Either Barry or Kareem. Not to mention, I will say this much. Barry did catch Kareem and Sharon having sex, but I'm wondering if he'll be angry at Sharon because she didn't tell him about being pregnant, or if he's automatically going to be angry because it could be Kareem's baby, but he'll neglect the fact that both he and Sharon have had sex a couple of times in the series. So I don't really know. All right, so Ellie is actually in the Oval with Hunter, and he wants her to give him head, and she's like, remember, this is on my terms. Look, do you really think you got this job because you were smart? So basically, it's going to be another one of those scenes where Ellie is going to be quote unquote put in her place, but she'll probably fight back due to the fact that she is intelligent, but there are those who are more qualified than her to be in the position she's in. I'm not talking about giving the president head. I mean, like, what's her job? Is it like press secretary or something like that? So basically, it's one of those situations where she's intelligent, but she's pretty much stereotyped because of how she looks. That's pretty much, I'm guessing what the basis of that scene will be. Not to mention, one has to wonder, we know Victoria has been threatening Ellie, but based on what we know about Jason, who's to say he isn't watching what's going on between Ellie and Hunter right then and there? Just throwing that out there. Okay. Then we also got, speaking of Nancy, another brief scene where Barry's like, why don't you just tell Dad who the father is? I can't do it. And I'm just like, well, that pretty much reinforces the fact that Richard was incorrect by assuming that his brother was the one that Nancy had the affair. Well, let me just say his brother being the father of Picky, because if Richard did find out, and of course, if that's the conclusion Richard reached and we saw how angry he was about it, then why wouldn't Nancy admit to it? So I feel like that's just further proof that Richard's brother was not the father of Picky. Yet I don't believe Nancy denied having an affair with him, which begs the question of, did Nancy sleep with more than one person while Richard was at war, aside from just the father of Picky? I just feel like this is a redundant storyline that needs to be ended as soon as possible, because it's really doing nothing for the story, at least in my opinion. All right, and then for like the last scenes of the trailers, both of them, the end credit and the actual trailer you just saw, it looks like Kyle is at Donald's house. He has like a little bag and everything, and he's on the phone telling like, look, I want more than what we have now. I want us to have more than just sex, basically hinting at being like, in a exclusive relationship, maybe behind closed, well, for lack of a better phrase, in a closet relationship due to the fact of, their positions of power, so they can't really be out in the open. But he wants more than just, late night get-togethers, basically kind of like how Andy and Gary were at the beginning of like Sisters, where Gary would spend the night with her and then leave during the day, that kind of thing. So basically he wants more than just that. And it's funny because Donald appears to be at the White House, at work, and, Kyle's over at the house. So while he's having this conversation at the front door, Lily's in the kitchen working on some design saying, are you talking to my husband? And it's funny because she's on the phone with Donald in another scene talking about how I don't want us to lose everything we built together. Honey, I love you. So it definitely seems like we're going to have a Kyle situation, a triangle here, Kyle, Donald, and Lily, where Kyle is going to be the jealous one, but also correcting his suspicions of, why are you back here? And I can see Donald not really buying the whole story. What Kyle is saying, like, Kyle, you're just being jealous, and it's a good thing she came back when she did, so we can kind of, sweep everything under the rug. And, Kyle isn't going to be okay with that. So I feel like both Kyle and Bobby will mess up their current operations / suspicion, their operations / the environments they're in right now because of jealousy, with Bobby being afraid for Lily's life because of his feelings for her, and Kyle will let his feelings for Donald cloud his judgment, which will lead to both of them slipping up in the future. That's my opinion. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on the trailer for Malicious Intent. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.